Here with athletic director, head football coach David Lucio of the Tidehaven Tigers. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing all right, brother.
How are things in Western Matagorda County going under these COVID-19 conditions?
Oh man, it's starting to get restless. I would say that's how I would describe it. We've got a lot of people that they're ready to come out of the caves, man, and so they're getting real anxious about getting back to work and seeing the kids get back on the baseball fields, football fields, whatever, man.
So it's a small, tight-knit community there. Talk about the impact of having the school shut down for a couple of months and losing all the competition there in the spring sports.
Yeah, for us, man. Yeah, I guess every coach probably could make this argument, but uh, we build our program off our off-season program. We don't, we got great kids, but we don't have a lot of. It's rare for us to get a big type kid to come through here, so we grind in the weight room and on the track to make up for that. And this lost time, it's killed us. And like I was explaining to somebody the other day, these new rules where you can go to your local gym, but you can't go to your high school gym. That puts a hurting on us, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, having this problem. But other communities, they got little, public gyms or whatever, and their kids can go built in there. Our kids don't. They got cornfields and a Dollar General.
Yeah, but at least we've got some positive signs. UIL made a statement basically that they're going to make a statement, but gave us a date of June the 8th. We don't know what the details or restrictions on strength and conditioning will be at that point, but we do know that we get to get going on something June 8th.
Oh yeah, I've spoke with the UIL, about some of my concerns, and the reality is with those fellas, are they, they're almost like the grocery store checkout girl, you know what I mean, where it ain't their fault that the price of brisket's extremely high right now. You know what I mean? They're doing everything they can. TEA and the fellas above them, those are the ones that are pressing them to limit us. And so I kind of feel bad for them because right now they're the punching bag. Everybody wants to blame them when in reality they ain't in no more fault than the rest of us. And so I'm sure it's got to be frustrating with them, but there are signs. I honestly, I got happy when I seen Louisiana was going to open up on June 8th. And because I know how us Texans are. We don't like, and that's the truth. That's exactly what I said when I seen it. I was just like, oh, Texas ain't going to stand for that. And so sure enough, we came out with, we're going to do it. So I'm eager to see these guidelines. And then, it's very important that us coaches follow these guidelines because the powers that be, and I'm not referring to the UIL, some higher ups than them, they're going to be looking out to see if we play our role correct, and if we don't, they're going to jump all on it. And so it's very important that whatever guidelines they give us, that we follow them to a T, and we don't give them any reason to take away what they've given us.
Right, and don't cheat the corners and edges because it goes just beyond compliance. As if there's a rash of illness with the
Mhm.
coaches or players out of this, that's going to shut it down.
No doubt. So I mean, it's just real important that we do what we can to police ourselves and keep it safe, but at the same time, get our kids back in shape. So it's a tough balance, but hey, we're up for it.
And that's going to be one of the impacts. Most likely is it's the summer, but we're probably going to have more hours a day of strength and conditioning and face to face time with the kids, and possibly even spread out over a time to get that time. So more commitment on the part of the coaches during the summer than we normally would have.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. And again, my coaching staff's always been real good about uh, we have a theme where in the summer you can either get worse, stay the same, or leap ahead, and we always try to leap ahead. And so we're going to be pushing it and get every inch they give us. But like I said, it's very important we don't go over that. So we'll study the guidelines, and our kids are eager to get back. I mean, and I'm sure again, I'm not these. This is this is, Texas thing, man. Every coach is probably getting the same thing I'm getting. Text messages every day, every hour. Even some of the parents, come get Junior already and do something with him. But our kids, they want back, and I swear, if my weight room had windows in it, they'd probably kick the windows in and crawl in. But luckily, we had number cinder block around it. But yeah. So I mean that makes me happy, but then it also makes me sad that we can't get after it. But a lot of them are running on their own, and some of them are doing. You've seen videos of all these picking stuff up, and and that looks cool or whatever. But I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't. I mean, don't get me wrong, I ain't gonna stop a kid from doing it, but uh, I I think overall they'd be better off in a supervised weight room than picking up barrels of stand or whatever corny thing they're finding on YouTube, and or like I explained to somebody, pushing the car around the block. You know what I mean? Yeah, that but I'd rather them be doing some power clean under some professional supervision. But it is what it is. So but we're just waiting, man. Hopefully these guidelines give us a little bit to work with, and we can go from there.
All right. Well, now I'm going to be positive because I'm not going to hear from anybody that we're not going to play this fall. Uh, so August 3rd, we're going to take the field, start practicing. August 30th, we're going to play games. 29th, whatever the date is. What do you have them coming back from last year? Or what do you think the Tigers are going to look like this fall?
We're I would say I think we're going to have a pretty good season, man. We have a tough schedule again. We dropped Shiner and Refugio, or like I like to say, we dropped Alabama and Georgia. But again, we replaced them with some. I got Industrial on the schedule this year. Flatonia, which is smaller than us, but they've been going 3 rounds deep. It seems like every year. They've got a solid team and a great coaching staff. And again, Industrial 3A Division One, they're bigger than us, and they went, I think, 4 rounds deep. And Coach Dixon, he just, we've been scrimmaging him over the year, and he's got them boys. I don't know what he's feeding them or whatever, but I gotta go steal some from my boys because he's got them going over there. And then Weimer's solid too, and I coached in Weimer a few years back, and I know Weimer's a sleeping giant, man. They have some fellas there, and Coach McGyver over there's he's taking care of business, and so I had some ladies come up in my office right now, but so anyways, we got a tough schedule, but and then of course our district's about the same. We replaced some teams with I think we lost Ganado, which is a solid program, but we gained Brazos, who I think looking at them, they seem to be on the rise. Who else? Rice Consolidated dropped down. We've been playing them. They've got a good program. So, I mean, we got 10 weeks. I think Danbury, I expect Danbury to be improved. It'll be their coach's second year there, and he's pretty squared away. So I have a feeling they're going to be improved. We got a 10-week schedule that's solid, and there's not going to be any weeks off. But that being said, I got 4 of my 5 starting offensive linemen back. I've got 2 solid running backs coming back in Kylan Sardinia and Jose Martinez. Kylan he's I call him a slash kid. He plays slot receiver. He can play some wide receiver, but then he gets in the backfield. He's a legit 4.5 kid. He ran a 49 and a quarter. He's tough. He's got good size, about 5'9", 5'10", maybe 185. But we're going to use him again as a slash, put him all over the field, try to get the ball to him in the open field. And another kid I have that I expect a huge year from is a kid by the name of Austin Smith. Austin is a 6'5" wide receiver, legit 4.5 kid, about mid-high 4.5, athlete, ripped up, 215 pounds. And the last year he was out with a lower back issue, and he made it back a couple games left in the season. And I think he ended up having about 5 or 6 touchdown catches, and he got to a point where we could just fling it up to him, and go get it, man. He can moss some folks. But this year he's healthy, and we expect big things from him. And I can tell you right now, if he was healthy last year, the kid probably ought to be committed to D1 somewhere. But due to that injury, missed the majority of the season. And then I feel bad for him because he missed last year's camp season. Then he missed the majority of the season. He comes on late, has, a big late season. Well, now he's missing camp season again. And so, like I tell people, him and Colin are my two fastest kids, both legit 4.5 kids. And, but Colin's, 5'9", 5'10", the other one's 6'5", and there's just something about a 6'5" kid screaming down that track that just it's a thing of beauty, man. And if he gets a look or whatever, he gets a chance, man. I think he's probably gonna go D1. And so, anyways, I expect a big year from him. And quarterbacking, I got a kid by the name of Logan Crow, and Logan's he's a great kid. Good body, big, strong body, decent speed. And he's been working on his arm. He's going to come out of nowhere. He played for us on varsity last year as a sophomore, but he predominantly outside linebacker. Missed late season because of a hamstring injury. But he's gotten a lot bigger, a lot stronger, a lot faster, and his arm has improved drastically. So he's going to surprise some folks. He's going to be a name where he's going to be one of them kids that people think he transferred in or something, even though he was on the team last year. But and then defensively, I've got all four defensive linemen back, both defensive ends, anchored by a kid by the name of Grant Von Gontard. Grant looks like a Viking. He's had hair on his chest since he was in the 8th grade, and he's one of them defensive ends that you're not going to want to run towards. Luckily for us, on the other side, there's a defensive tackle by the name of Jerry Johnson, who's a 650-pound squatter. Jerry's a beast. He'll be a junior, and those two guys will be anchoring it. And I got another defensive end by the name of Zach Pierce, and the other defensive tackle spot belongs to a kid by the name of Palomares. He's pretty good. He's one of them 100-mile-an-hour type kids. So they'll anchor our defense. Behind them, the Martinez kid plays middle linebacker. He's pretty good. We got Jordan Mahias is anchoring our secondary. He's a returning starter. And the rest of the spots kind of up for grabs, but we've got some pretty good kids to fill in there. So we're looking to, I think we're going to have a pretty good year. And, a lot of it's going to depend on this summer. We have to get them, got to get them in shape. But almost every kid I've mentioned, they're the ones that are, texting me every day. Can we lift? Can we lift? Can we run? So I think we're going to be fine with that. But we shall see.
Yeah, you have played a really tough non-district schedule in the past few years. In fact, you had the really unusual record 2 years ago of 7-7.
Mm-hmm.
That means you won a bunch of playoff games, but it also means you lost a lot of non-district games. But that having that tough non-district sets you up for the success later down the road.
Oh yeah, no doubt. When you get used to lining up against the Refugos and the Shiners of the world, the game seems to slow down, a few weeks later. And I think that was us. But and these last 2 years they've been just kind of crazy. That 1 year where we went 7-7, it was more to it than just having a tough schedule. We didn't get to practice. It rained like every day over here. Our practice fields, when we did get to practice, were just mud pits. And it was just week after week of that. And then it all came together. We got a couple kids back from injury. We got one kid cleared through the UIL that became a starter for us. And then the sun came out. We were able to practice. And once we were able to practice, man, it was just night and day. And we flipped the switch on just in time for playoffs and ended up making a pretty good run. But now we got thanks to all that rain, we went ahead and upgraded our facilities, and we have field turf now. So last year we didn't miss a practice, not from 7th grade on up. Didn't miss one practice. So that was huge for us to go from where it seemed like we missed 50% of our practices to not missing any, that was pretty huge.
Well, Coach, thanks for your time, and definitely hope we get to see the Tigers on the field this fall.
I think it's going to happen, man. So we'll see you, brother.